Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 22nd episode of Political Sanity. I am your host, as always, Adam J. Bruton. And what can we really talk about today? We got a lot that we could discuss. We talked about USAID last time, and that was kind of fun. Turns out there's a whole bigger rabbit hole to go down with that kind of stuff. There's a lot more. Why am I doing that? Anyway, again, I want to start the show off by saying I do appreciate all the support that you guys have been giving us over here at the studio. No, but it really means a lot that you guys are hanging in there, kicking it, hanging out. It means a lot. Seriously, I don't know where I'd be if it weren't for the supporters and the fans of all. So, I do appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoy what you're hearing. Again, couldn't do it without you guys. So, without further ado, let's get into it, shall we? Let me adjust this piece of work here. Kind of like it's sitting up a little bit high like that. So Kanye's back. He was on X. So, let's see if we can find something. Man, he went off on a tangent, dude. He went off on the weirdest tangent for like a week straight. All capitalized, tweeting, or posting maybe probably like 5 times in an hour. Just some straight. Some people think it's fire. Other people think it's bullshit. I don't know what to think. I think he's doing it for clout. I think he's doing it because he knows it's shock value and people are going to be interested in hearing that kind of stuff. He was going off on the same old shit that he was going on all the time, dropping the N-word, talking about Jews, talking about Hitler. The guy's wild. And then he showed up at the Grammys with his wife butt-ass naked. He wasn't. She was. The wife who's trying to look a lot like Kim. What's her name? Bianca something. And she's doing it for shock value too. That's all they do it for. It's not for making a statement. The statement, yeah, they are making a statement. The statement is, look at me and my naked body. Look at me and my wild, incoherent shit that I spew left and right because that's fun. That gets you paparazzi. That gets you recognition. That gets you publicity. She's been walking around half naked for what? Better part of a year and a half? 2 years almost? How long have him and Kim been divorced? It's been a couple years. What do they got, like 4 fucking kids together too? I don't even know how many kids they have. I don't care. It's crazy because then he moved on to this new girl and nobody even heard of her. I don't know who she was. Let's look into that, shall we? Let me get my old thinking glasses on and let's see if we can find some stuff. I'm going to screen share, obviously. Should we ask Grok or should we do our own information or our own research? Before I share a screen, I want to find something. That's the general consensus on all this. I'm sure it might pause. I'd like to know what we can find. What's her name? Bianca. She's probably Sensori. Australian architect and model. Okay, so she was a model first. First and foremost, she was a model, right? Picture in picture. Okay, what the hey? All right. Let's see what we can do here. Did that keep recording? I hope it did. I think it did. Here we go. So we did a quick little Google search of what she's really all about. So Bianca Censori. That's funny that that's her last name because she does not censor herself. She's a year younger than me. What the hell? They got married in 2022. Good on them. So let's see. Bianca Censori is an Australian model and architect who married Kanye West in a private ceremony in December of 2022. She has worked as an architectural designer for West's fashion brand Yeezy since November of 2020. And her LinkedIn profile lists her as her brand's head of architecture. Censori's relationship with West has brought her into the public eye. Clearly. She's slowly trying to look like Kim. I'll say that. She's looking like Kim. They've known each other for 5 years. She's 30. She just turned 30. What is going on? So she's been showing up half-ass naked, buck naked, for attention. What? I mean, what? Why do you need to become famous by showing your tits and your butt cheeks and your vagine? Why do you got to do that? People are trying to speculate that she's being sexually held captive, mainly because they're looking at the way of, her body language. Everyone who's been essayed, everyone who's been sexually abused, right? All of a sudden becomes an expert in the... No, I'm not trying to diminish what you guys are saying. Those of you who studied her views and what she does and the way that she's moving around and how she's carrying herself on the red carpet, right? However, with that being said, you don't know what's going on behind closed doors. You don't know if she's actually being abused by him. You don't know. Maybe Kanye's a really nice guy. Maybe he's not. I don't know. I don't know the guy. I don't care to know the guy. All right? He's been doing a lot of things to try to stay relevant, which he has done a pretty good job of doing. I think bagging a Kardashian was probably one of the bigger things he's done. But now this, he's trying to, he's showing her off. She's doing it herself. She's obviously picking out her own clothes, maybe. Blah. But there's a lot of people speculating that she's being held captive. No one's ever going to know the answer to that until she comes out. Say, for example, if they get divorced tomorrow and she comes out and she starts saying, this is what he did to me. I didn't even want to show up at the Grammys naked. I didn't want to walk around the streets of Italy naked with him while he wore a full leather suit with a face mask. You'll never know. You'll never know what actually happened. You'll never know. And gosh, I don't ever want to know what's going on because it does not matter. It'll make good content for this next episode if they do get divorced or whenever that's going to be. Maybe they won't. Maybe they won't get divorced. Maybe they're actually happy. You ever think about that? Even though he's... How much older is he than her? Good grief. He's 17 years older than her. So where were we? We were talking about Kanye. Apparently they're on the brink of divorce. Yikes. Did I just call that? Maybe. Oh my gosh, the timeline is so messed up. I didn't know he was married to Kim for 8 years. I had no idea. I thought they got married in like 2019 or something like that, but they had how many kids together? Anyway, he jumped on X, activated his account, had the gold check mark. Basically went off on a tangent, talking about the music industry, talking about how everyone's girl fucks him and he's elite or whatever. You know, I not verbatim, but he went off on some pretty wild stuff, to say the least. Said some really wild things. And then he deactivated his account after that week. Thanked Musk for his, opportunities to express himself on the platform. And then he just ghosted. He just left. And then he came back again. He's back now. Let's see what he's got. I wonder if it'll sign me in. Probably already signed in. But for him to do all that, man, the Wi-Fi sucks. We switched providers a while back. $33.1 million followers, man. Nuts. That's nuts. He's talking about Drake now. He's a little less crazy now, I think. He came back Friday. He came back on Friday. Back to the app. Man, I don't know. I don't know what to make of this whole Kanye thing. Everyone knows that he's a wild dude. He's got some good ideas, I think. He wrote fire albums. I never really cared for him, but I'm not going to lie. Some of his songs they're pretty good. They are. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with saying that. There's nothing wrong with saying that he writes good music. However, trying to stay in the limelight currently by being completely unhinged is crazy. But it gets views. I mean, look at this first post, or this post today. 5.4 million impressions, views. People saw that. 5.4 million. And the reaction count, the repost count, comments it's all up there. It's the dude worked hard to get where he was at. He obviously, I think he said something. What was it that he said the other day? He said that it was something about his mom being taken from him when he became famous. Like right when he started to hit big. That was the number one thing that happened to him. Now, I did hear, this is one of the things that he also did. He shut his account down, but he had one thing on his merch store. And I wonder if it's still there. Oh. Yeezy stores coming soon. Let's get a look at this quick. How do I get back to this? Stop sharing. Let's try to do this again. He had a shirt. It's not there anymore, but he had a shirt that said, "Yeah, this is nuts." Looks like my son wrote it, to be honest with you. Yeezy stores coming soon. With a big old heart. Look at that. Looks nice. It's like when you try to sign your name without a pen on a tablet. Isn't that so fucking annoying? You should at least have a stylus for an option. I mean, this guy's got how much money and he's writing this out with his finger. Maybe Bianca wrote it. But Anyway, he had a single shirt on his merch store, and I'm sure they forced him to take it down. I'm not 100% sure. But it was a white t-shirt with a swastika on the front. And coincidentally, one of the funniest things is, he was dropping the N-word. He was talking about white people, and he was talking about Jews, and all the posts with Jews, where he was talking about Jewish people, were marked for like hateful conduct. They were flagged. So they gained enough attraction. They ultimately censored him in a way. But I don't know, man. I feel like we're just making the wrong people famous. I feel like fame's kind of like a disease in a way, because you don't know how to be a real person. You're always trying to do things for views. You're always trying to do things for clout, recognition in a way, publicity. And it becomes a cancer because you don't have a real understanding of who you are or what the reason is, like why you got into this. Now, I could be wrong. Maybe fame's a good thing, maybe not. But it got me thinking, like earlier this week when I was at work, is like the Kardashians have completely, and the Kardashian women, let's call it that. Let's call it what it is. The Kardashian women have completely ruined how many men in their reign of terror, or their reign, whatever you want to call it. They're basically American royalty if you look at it from a certain perspective. They've ruined, Chris ruined Bruce, who's now Caitlyn. He basically transitioned, turned into a chick. He was a sex symbol, man. He was. And then he becomes Woman of the Year, like 6 months after he transitions. You've been a woman for 6 months and you become Woman of the Year. But Caitlyn's on our side, okay? Caitlyn's a conservative, So, and I think Caitlyn has the right idea of, she knows, he knows he's not like an actual woman. He knows that. I mean, he's a how many time gold Olympian, Was he a runner or was he a swimmer? I think he was a runner for the Olympics. But anyway, so then we got Bruce gets screwed up, right? Kim, Kanye. Okay? Khloe was with Lamar Odom, and now he's with a transgender. I'm not saying that makes him ruined. It doesn't make him ruined, but he likes whatever. You like what you like. I'm not going to judge you, okay? I don't give a shit. I don't care what you like. That doesn't bother me. But you go from a Kardashian to a biological dude, I don't know. It's not necessarily a win for your team, but, and then Courtney was, I don't know if she's the oldest. I don't think she's the old. Is she the oldest? Courtney's the oldest, I believe. We can look into that later. She was with Travis Barker, I think. I don't know if they're still together or what, but she's got him dressing up like Lord Voldemort walking out in public, like before Blink-182 came back. It seems to be, it's like has-been stars that get with these people. And then they try to somehow stay relevant. Travis Scott had the whole thing. Wasn't he with Kim or not Kim? He was with Kendall or Kylie. I can't remember which one. I think it was Kendall. And the whole Astroworld thing happened, that kerfuffle where a lot of people died tragically. And then I think one of the other ones is with Tyga, or was with Tyga, and then he just became he became a no one. I mean, I'm not saying Tyga's not successful. He's a very successful hip-hop artist. But to see these men go from stardom and fame and, working on themselves to basically American royalty style. And then it fucks with their head, It just gets crazier and crazier and crazier. And then they're never the same after that. So it really makes you wonder what's actually going on. Is it some satanic ritualistic stuff, witchcraft? I don't know. I'm not sure. What the hell do I know? I'm just some idiot from the Midwest. What the fuck do I know? Nothing. I know nothing. But I can have my opinions and I have my ideas, and that's okay. But I never understood how the Kardashians even became famous. I know how everyone knows how Kim got famous. Everybody knows that one. But then even Ray J after that, like, what happened to him? He's stepped out of the limelight. He's like, forget this. I'm out. I'm done. But then the rest of them, it's like, I think the first bout of fame for them was the OJ trials when their dad was defending OJ and got him off, basically. Not, you know what I mean? Got him off with the charges. But to see that family be as powerful as they are, have a reality show, have their own makeup lines. I'm not saying they're not successful businesswomen. They definitely are. Absolutely they are. But it's an unrealistic expectation for them to be role models for young girls and young women and women to look up to the Kardashians. Come on. If you want to see how dysfunctional your family really is, watch an episode of the Kardashians, Keeping Up with the Kardashians, and you'll understand that your family's not so bad. Not that bad. Really not that bad. They're arguing over goose liver pate and caviar and the wrong sides for a birthday party for their fucking Pomeranian, for God's sake. I mean, that's nothing to sneeze at. Those are serious problems, okay? Those are serious problems. It's not like we have people fucking starving over in North Carolina or trying to stay warm after the hurricanes, took out their houses and they're living in tents and shit. Instead, we're going to worry about, where's my goose liver pate going to come from? Why doesn't my house have this much square footage space? Like, come on. Why do I not have more than 4 walk-in closets? These are real problems, people. These are real problems. And we need to be aware, and we need to be a little more sympathetic towards the Kardashians because they deserve it. They deserve it. They deserve our pity and our sympathy. Because they have it so much harder than you and I do. Living in the real world. We really do need to be keeping up with the Kardashians. But, oh my gosh, dude. I never thought we would live. I never thought I would, I don't know. I guess I never thought I'd live to see the day. If I asked my ancestors years ago, if I were able to see them today and I could ask them, hey, do you know what reality television is? They'd probably say, what the hell's television? What is that? And I'd show them. Because you can stream it. You don't need to wait for it to come on. You can just stream it the next day. Or you can watch it live if you're a peasant. But I'd show them Keeping Up with the Kardashians. 19 Kids and Counting. I'd show them that one, and they'd probably be like, 19 Kids and Counting. That's light work, dude. But to live in a society where reality TV is like the number one thing right now is insane. Their minds would be blown, and they'd probably be appalled. And they'd want to go back to their original timeline. And I don't blame them. But our society has come to, and I'm guilty of it too. I watch reality TV sometimes. That Chopper Cop show, I love that shit. That's so awesome. Come on, where they hunt the people down, where they hunt the criminals down in the helicopters. Such a cool division of the police force. It's very cool. 60 days in, come on. But I think that we are making the wrong people famous for sure. The American dream used to just be providing for your family. Now it's becoming an influencer on TikTok or whatever the fuck you guys are doing now. I mean, I have no idea. I think the need to be liked is so apparent these days. You need to be sort of like not necessarily taken seriously, but you need the clicks, you need the views, you need the likes, you need the comments. And ultimately that's going to be your downfall. Is if you're trying to do things just to get attention, then you're losing sight of who you really are as a person. And it's sad to see society fall to such a low level of IQ and stupidity. I mean, and it sounds ironic. It's hypocritical of me to be doing this and trying to gain an audience. But I like doing this. This is fun. I don't care. I'll say whatever the hell I want to, and if you don't like it, that's fine. We can disagree, but I'm not going to call you a piece of shit. You can call me a piece of shit. That's fine. Tell me something I haven't told myself in the mirror. You know what I mean? I don't know. We're constantly plugged into our phones. We're constantly plugged into a screen. We're looking at stuff that doesn't matter. I mean, I like social media for like food recipes and keeping up with the news and checking in with my friends. That's always fun. But when you start doing it for like, and I've been caught in the trap before. I mean, I had a window of time on Facebook where I've had a couple of videos go viral, and I have, a few thousand followers. So it's something that, but it was gained because and it wasn't because I wasn't being my authentic self. I was being me, and people seemed to like that for a little while, and that's okay. But then it started to like overrun my life. It started to become a real addiction, so to speak. This carnal need to be liked and to be accepted, or to have people troll me, or to troll other people. Like, that was fun for me. And I'm trying to take a little bit of that one day at a time and try to like steer away from that, because I have a family now. It's something that I don't want all my information being out there. I don't want people seeing my kids. I don't want, a lot of things like that. So, but yes, I have fallen into that trap, definitely. And it's not a fun place to be. It becomes your whole life. Even when you're not working, like, it becomes a part of your existence, and you can definitely become consumed by it. And that's, it's truly a sad thing when it happens, especially to yourself, because then you're constantly thinking of, oh, is this going to be funny? Is this something I can talk about? Am I going to get censored for this? Like, just be who you are. If you get a video deplatformed, who cares? Just post it somewhere else where it won't get deplatformed. So, moving on, though, there was an interesting story that came about, and it has a lot of the conservatives divided right now, and the liberals divided. Big shock there. But it has MAGA and conservatives divided immensely, because and I don't know how true this story is. I could look into it and see. There is a woman, I don't know if she's a journalist or an author. I don't know much about her. I used to follow her on X. I don't anymore, just because I stopped following people that I thought were grifters and weren't genuine. Posted a lot of the same stuff in that echo chamber. But her name is Ashley St. Clair. And she is... Let's see what we can find out about Ashley St. Clair. Let's see here. What can we... You know what? I'm going to find it first, and then I will screen share it, because I don't think it's really worth... And this story is nutso. Man, it's wild, and you don't know how true it actually is. This happened on Saturday. Look at that. She's the first one that you find. She's a columnist columnist. Ashley St. Clair. She's a mega influencer. So that's fun, right? What happened? Here we go. All right. So we're going to pull this up and we're going to read a little bit into this. This is her. This is she, Ashley St. Clair. She's been featured on Fox News. Conservative influencer claims she gave birth to Elon Musk's 13th child. 13th child. Not third, 13th. This guy has a gangload of kids, man. He's probably trying to, just extend his bloodline a little bit. So overview, let's read into this. Who is Ashley St. Clair? Hang on, I can't see shit because I have poor eyesight. Ashley St. Clair, who is reportedly 31 years old, is a conservative activist and author who has more than 1.1 million followers on her X account. I believe it's like 1.2 right now. She is known for her children's book, Elephants Are Not Birds. Never read it. Probably not going to read it. Published by the faith-based conservative book publisher Brave Books. So I saw this in real time. Pardon me, I'm just cleaning my glasses quick. I saw this in real time where someone had dug into one of her old tweets from like 2020. And she was basically saying that Musk, has a lot of women that, he has a lot of women that he's impregnated, and he has a lot of baby mamas, so to speak. I don't like using that term, but I don't really know how to put it. So she stated that, basically seeming like she was somewhat disgusted with it, I think that was before he bought the app. And then Elon commented on this other person's screenshot of her tweet and said, "Whoa," in all capitalized letters. And then she commented back to Elon and, stated, oh, here we go. Let's see what we can find here. This is on Reddit. Mark my words. As you can see, he said, "Whoa." Okay. And then she goes on to say, "Elon, we have been trying to communicate for the past several days and you have not responded. When are you going to reply to us instead of publicly responding to smears from an individual who just posted photos of me in my underwear at 15 years old?" She's claiming that she had his kid 5 months ago. Now, if this is true, if this is 100% true, my thoughts on this are this, as follows. What the fuck is going on? Personally, I don't care if a person has a kid with someone else. That doesn't matter to me. But if you dig into like her payouts and how much she's earned, and then there's speculation that Tiffany Fong, another influencer on X, is like being vetted for the next position of baby mama, She was earning about 14,000 like every 2 weeks or some shit like that, or every payout period. So I think that's a month. And Tiffany was getting like 20,000 or more. And it really makes you wonder, like, if this is true. Number one, who cares? Number two, why is this even news? Why did you ever think you'd read a story this stupid? So what? Maybe the guy likes to have kids. Maybe he wants to further his bloodline. Who cares? He's a fucking billionaire. Does he care what you think? Does he care what I'm saying right now? Absolutely not. He doesn't even know who I am. It doesn't matter. But for MAGA and conservatives to be completely divided over this issue, it's like, who gives a shit? This is not traditional values. She's not a trad wife. He's not a trad husband. He never claimed to be. That's the beauty of the Conservative Party, though. You should be able to do what you want without fear of judgment. But on top of that, now there's tons and tons of judgment. And the funny thing about that post that I just showed on the screen there, that was deleted. Like 3 hours later, I think. 3 hours later, that was deleted. And it really makes you wonder. Someone made a comment that said, oh, it looks like someone got a phone call. Maybe this is real, maybe this isn't. Maybe he paid her to not talk about this. I don't know this guy. I'm a fan. Not because of this, but because of other reasons. You know, he bought the platform. He made it free speech. You're able to say whatever the hell you want and not get demonetized or deplatformed for it. You can say whatever you want. Used to be able to say whatever you want. I don't think you can say whatever you want anymore. If you get a certain amount of reports, then they start to shut your account down. They start to suspend your account. But for this to be the topic of discussion, that IVF impregnation, I don't care. It's just something that I think people would want to hear about. And for this to be a main headline, like on multiple news sites, is insane. But she did bring it on herself. If this is true and she didn't want this to be in the public eye, don't fucking bring it up. Don't talk about it. It doesn't matter. Your kid, I'm not saying your kid doesn't matter, okay? Ashley, I'm saying that you talking about this is absolutely insane. You want privacy for your kid, but you bring this up. You comment on the owner of the platform, and you say, we're trying to reach out to you. Please respond. If you had his kid, how do you not have his information? How do you not have this guy on fucking speed dial? How do you not know his number, his email? Why put it out in the open other than for attention? There is no other reason. That's the reason. Attention. Everyone wants to be famous and they'll do anything to get it. It does not matter. There are no bounds. There are no boundaries. There's no regulation. There's no moral. There's no value. It's all about how can I get more of a payout than I have right now. Money's the root of all evil, everyone. Okay? I can say this because I don't get paid to do any of this shit. I don't get paid anything to do this. It's just fun for me. I'm actually losing money doing this. But who knows if it's true? You see a lot of people, on Facebook now. It's bleeding over into Facebook now where, like, Terrence K. Williams is saying, we're behind her on this, blah, blah, blah. It's like, you know what? I suppose if you're an influencer, you kind of have to say you're behind her. If you're not an influencer or a grifter, for lack of a better terms, if you're not a grifter, you don't care. It doesn't matter. I have 1.7 thousand followers on X. I don't give a shit. I don't care. I have other things to post about that are important to me and to my followers. I'm not going to post about some stupid ass news story that doesn't make any sense. And again, ironic that I'm saying that while talking about it on this platform. This world is getting so freaking crazy, guys. It's getting so crazy. To even remotely give this an iota of your energy. You clearly have nothing better to do with your lives. But at least Kanye's back, right? That's good. That's good news. There's a silver lining in everything, guys. I wonder if it is his kid. I really wonder. part of me wants to be cynical and say no. I don't want this illusion of this guy to be ruined for me. But again, I have no clue. I don't know anything. I know nothing. I read it on a screen. And then we talk about it. Just stop doing things for attention. Good grief. Be who you are. Go write another children's book, okay? Have your newest son write your children's book. So, another awkward thing that happened. Not awkward, it's a tragedy. There was a school shooting. Dude, I don't know if it was today or... What would it have been today? It's Sunday. Anyway, it was in Nashville. I hate doing this stuff on X. Might use Grok. Because they do compile it with... No, not a profile summary, you son of a... Let's do this. No. I don't need that. Good grief. Just open up Grok. You suck. Okay, so. This is in Nashville. This happened. Wait a minute. Why are we just hearing about this now? This happened in January 22nd. This happened that day. It's weeks ago. It's last month, for crying out loud. Anyway, let's get into it. So the Antioch school shooting took place on January 22nd, 2025 in Nashville, Tennessee. A 17-year-old student, Solomon Henderson, opened fire in the school cafeteria, killing one student, 16-year-old Jocelyn Correa Escalante, and injuring another before taking his own life. Henderson used a 9mm pistol, firing 10 shots in 17 seconds. Police investigations revealed that Henderson had posted alarming content on social media, including writings and images that praised previous mass shooters and expressed anti-Semitic and racist views. His actions were influenced by harmful online material, and he had a history of bringing weapons to school. He had previously been suspended for threatening another student with a box cutter. Have you guys ever heard of an ALC? Alternative Learning Center? Those are for the kids who are bad or aren't doing well in school. Why are you letting these kids continuously come back to school if they have this history of bringing weapons to school? If you've been suspended for threatening another student with a box cutter, you don't get to go to school there anymore. It's as simple as that, guys. It has the fact that these people are on law enforcement's radar before this even happens is baffling to me. It is the craziest fucking thing I've ever heard in my life. Oh, let's give him another chance. Let's give him another chance. How about, you know what? How about we don't? Okay? You could have easily prevented this from happening. Easily. We've talked about school shootings on this podcast before. Mass shootings. Every single one of these people who have carried out these heinous acts have been on file with law enforcement. Or someone else has known about it beforehand. This isn't new. You should know this already. Prevent it. Prevention should be number one priority on these. Let's continue. The incident has sparked discussions about school security, as the school lacked metal detectors and installed AI-based weapons detection system failed to identify the gun. There were also reports on social media suggesting Henderson might have been in contact with another school shooter from Madison, Wisconsin, although no direct coordination was confirmed. They followed each other on social media. The girl who did that in Madison, Wisconsin, she followed Solomon Henderson. He followed her. I don't know what platform it was, but here's the craziest thing of all. You know how they always say that that AI is going to take over the world? They can't even detect a gun, okay? You can't even detect a pew-pew. And you expect us to believe that you're going to take us over someday? Really? I'm not saying AI isn't used for good things, because it definitely is. But when you have it for trying to find, like, lack of metal detectors, if you know this is an issue, this is so fucking crazy to me. I grew up in a time, I graduated in 2013, okay? I'm not saying school shootings didn't happen. They've been going on for 25 years now. Maybe longer than that. Columbine, I think, was 01 or 2000. I'm not sure. They didn't have metal detectors in our school. We never had anyone show up with a gun to our school. Although we lived in a town with 4,600 people. It's crazy to me that this is like the prevention that they need to... Dude, being a school board counselor or director or being a guidance counselor has got to be the hardest thing in the world. You don't know if someone's going to come in with a bomb. You don't know if someone's going to come in with a gun. You don't know if someone's going to come try to shoot up the school and kill everyone. You don't know. You don't know. And it's insane to me that we live in a world where this is even possible now. More times than not. Get some metal detectors. Get security guards to do pat-downs in the morning. It's all about prevention. It's that simple. This event has led to a community response focusing on grief counseling, increased security measures, magically, and debates over gun control. There it is. With local leaders and community members expressing grief and a call for action to prevent future tragedies. I get that, okay? Gun control, I will say this, it's not going to do anything. Criminals are still going to get guns. It doesn't matter where you get them. It doesn't matter how you get them. They can print them now, okay? You guys can print guns now with a 3D printer, okay? That's a real thing. It's not, look, I might get demonetized for saying this or deplatformed. This video might get taken down. I don't care. I want to explore all the possibilities. You can print guns now. You can print like the parts for a gun. You just have to buy the other stuff. That's what Mangione did when he shot that insurance CEO. But so it's one of the crazier things that happens. You know, this is a really weird time that we're living in, and this is a weird thing that we have to even talk about, is school shootings and the lives of our youth being threatened. And it's crazy. It's crazy. I think this is like the second one I've covered on this podcast, and as well as other mass tragedies that have happened. People know. Law enforcement knows, but they don't do anything about it. And I don't know why that is. And I may sound super liberal by saying this, but yeah, they got to start taking care of that shit. You got to start paying attention. If you know, prevent it. Send this kid to an ALC. He won't be able to do that shit there. I mean, he might, but I doubt he will. He's not going to do anything now. He's dead, so. But, you know, my thoughts and my prayers go out to the Escalante family. It's crazy. It's tragic that this happened. And that family of the student who was injured. And also to the Henderson family. You know, my prayers go out to you as well. It doesn't take the sting away. Especially if your son was the one who did it. I'm sure there's a lot of grief and self-blame going on, and kids are fucking crazy, man. Kids go nuts sometimes. People go nuts. I'm sure there'll be a manifest that'll come out eventually, and we'll read about it and we'll talk about it. It might be politics driven. It might be, maybe the kid was bullied. Be nice to your fellow students. Be kind, be generous. But again, you're a teenager. You're not about being nice and being generous. You're about fucking trying to get ahead. And trying to move up on the ladder of popularity. And it doesn't matter who gets in your way. You'll tear them down regardless. I mean, I did a lot of crazy shit in high school where I was mean to people. I got bullied myself. But then I passed that on to other people. And now the people that I bullied, like in high school, like we're friends now. I mean, I apologized. I made amends. I felt like such an asshole. And the maturity factor is like the number one thing that you have to be aware of and lean into as you get older. That you kind of need to understand that you can be popular in high school, but you ain't shit when you get out. That doesn't matter. You're successful at school. You're successful on like you're like the star quarterback, or you're like the star, you're the coach's kid, or you're the most popular, the homecoming king. Like, no one gives a fuck about that, dude. Once you get out, no one cares about that. This is the real world. And the thing is, you see a lot of people who got bullied and they become successful, and they have this bitter resentment in their heart for these people, for anyone that reminds them of the people they got bullied by, and they carry it over with them, and they become crazy, power-hungry assholes. And it happens more times than it doesn't. It happens. But again, you got to lean into that maturity factor, It's wild. It makes me scared for my kids, But I always want to teach them respect, Teach them not to be rude to other kids. That's why, like, when we go somewhere and like they're playing with another kid, if they push another kid, or if they get pushed, it's like, just if they're the ones that are doing the pushing, you have to set them down and say, hey, you can't do that. You can't. You have to learn how to share. You have to be nice. And their brains are, they're small, so they're like very moldable, and their minds are like sponges. They're able to, you kind of have to teach them at this point. But then if they're being bullied, it's like, just walk away. Walk away. Forget about it. Ignore it. Obviously, if you get into an altercation and you have to defend yourself. There's nothing wrong with that. But when it becomes you're doing everything in your power to get back at that person, that's when you've crossed over into really dangerous territory. So, what are we at? 52. Final thoughts here. What could be some final thoughts here? It's cold as balls in my state right now. We're in a very extreme cold weather advisory until like tomorrow. I'm really hoping spring is like right around the corner. I'm getting sick and tired of being depressed and tired all the time, sick all the time. My kids are always sick. I mean, my wife had a baby in December, like the beginning of December. That was like the worst time for that to happen because she's gotten RSV once. Her breathing's not fully back to normal yet. My son's always sick because he goes to school. My daughter, she just got out of her leg cast because she broke her leg, and at the beginning of January she broke her leg and she fell on the stairs. So hopefully spring's right around the corner. We can see some green grass again. Everything can be wet. We can get water in our shoes and all that shit. The changing from winter to spring is so brutal. When everything melts and you're like, fuck this, dude. But I don't know. Spring is pretty cool, and then summer is just unbearably hot up here. Yeah, I'm getting real tired of winter. I don't know about you guys, but it's getting to be. This felt like a long winter, but it's gone by. It seems like it's gone by a little bit quicker, and I think that's because I'm getting older. I'm turning 31 next month, and I don't know what to think about that. My joints always hurt. I'm getting gray hair in my beard. It's fucking crazy. I'm losing my hair. It's nuts. I might be heading to Turkey. Go get a hair transplant. Why not, right? Seems like every other day you read the news, you read about some fucking tragedy that happens, and you're like, jeez, what's going on? Is it because of the weather? Is it something they're putting in the water? Is it the seed oils? By the way, RFK got in. That's cool. Tulsi got in. Tulsi Gabbard got in. That's cool. It's awesome. Let's hope we see some really cool shit happen in the next 4 years. I mean, right now they've already started to, enter the IRS. I think on Saturday they did that. Doge did. Yeah, I think it's time for a change. I realized that I was thinking about this the other day. I was listening to Rogan, and he had Adam Curry on. I didn't know who Adam Curry was, but he's basically invented podcasting. He used to be an MTV, not personality because he was himself, but they were talking about like vaping, and it got me thinking, like, I've been vaping for going on 5 years now. In November of 2019, I think I quit smoking. Not entirely, but I quit smoking cigarettes because I had 2 teeth pulled at the dentist. And they told me don't smoke because you're gonna get dry socket. So I quit cigarettes. It wasn't that hard to give up. I've bought a pack here and there, but ultimately, I don't want to bring that home to my kids. That smell on my clothes. But I did start vaping, and I do the nicotine pouches. Tried the gum, didn't care for it. I used to chew snus, too, like the pouches or whatever, Camel snus. But it got me thinking, vaping is gay. And I'm addicted. I'm addicted to vaping. And it's crazy how much money I waste on it. And it's not good for me. I actually feel like I'm short of breath a lot more from vaping. And I don't know. It's like I bought some pods for my vape the other day, and it's like yesterday, I think, and I think I'm getting closer to just stopping. Because it's becoming not time consuming, because I do it, I can do it at work and all that shit. I can do it, at home. I can do it, I can step outside and I can smoke or vape really quick and then just walk back inside, and it doesn't smell bad. It doesn't, but it's a lot of maintenance. I mean, I've learned a new skill, obviously filling the pods and figuring out what I need to do, but it's becoming like, I think I'm more addicted to the act of doing it, like the inhaling and the exhaling, and It might be one more thing I just need to get out of my system and let go of. Because it makes me really, really crave cigarettes sometimes. Like, I really do want to start. Like, I really wanted to start smoking again. Like, a couple weeks ago, I wanted to start doing it again. Because there's something just, like, freeing about it. And I smoked since I was, I think 16. So that's, 14 years of inhaling and exhaling smoke. And it became a big, big part of my life. And I started it because I thought it was cool to smoke cigarettes. And then I slowly just started to lose interest in it. And I was like, I got my teeth pulled. And I'm like, oh, fuck that. I don't want to do it anymore. I can quit. And I did quit. And it was fine. And plus, I don't really want my kids seeing me do that. It's like, smoking is not as cool as it used to be. Not everyone does it anymore. If you watch a movie in like the 1940s, everyone's smoking a cigarette. In the 50s, everybody's smoking cigarettes. Everyone was doing it. And the reason being, I don't know. I don't know the reason as to why people did it. Just another drug that people could get their hands on. But nicotine, I'm thinking about switching just to the pouches. It's I wouldn't say it's more of a regulated feeling, but it's not like as, I don't know. I guess it's an addiction. It's like caffeine. It's like anything really. It's like weed. It's an addiction. It's something that people do, and caffeine's obviously to wake up. Nicotine is for I don't know what. I don't know why I need it. I don't know why I want it. It's just something that's become a part of my life for the last 14 years and going on 15, or not 15, going on 15 years. And it's just something that I'm used to now, and it's become a part of me. And I said that about methamphetamine too. And that became a part of my life for a long time. And I was able to kick that, no problem. Just, I guess what I'm trying to say is, take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Be good to you. Be good to yourself. And if you need nicotine to get through the day, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm a victim to it. Maybe it's just something you like to do. If you want to have a few drinks every now and then, there's nothing wrong with that. Just don't do it every fucking day. All day. To the point where you can't quit because you'll just die tomorrow. It can really ruin your life. Anything. You can be addicted to food. You can be addicted to television. You can be addicted to social media. You can be addicted to talking shit. You can be addicted to being a troll. Alcohol, weed, methamphetamine, heroin, fentanyl, xylazine, whatever. Put it in there. Nicotine. You can be addicted to working out. You can be addicted to everything. Everything. It's all about what's up here. It's all about self-control. It's about what you can control. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to say that, like, I wish I had never done meth. I'm never going to say that because I wouldn't be where I'm at right now. I'm happy. I have a wife. I have kids. I have a house. I have a job. If I didn't fall flat on my face, how many freaking times in my life I don't think I would be where I'm at right now. And obviously by the grace of God and, his son, Jesus Christ, I wouldn't be here. I can confidently say I would not be here. I wouldn't be alive. Anyways, I'm going off on a tangent. It has been an hour. I hope you guys enjoy this as much as I did. This was a lot of fun, and I love doing this. Again, subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, anywhere else that I post it. If you like what you hear, you can go back 22 episodes and listen to the first one through this one. And you guys are a lot of fun. I appreciate it. I appreciate the support, and I love every single one of you. And with that, I'm going to say this has been Political Sanity, and I'm your host, Adam Bruton. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Be good to yourselves, and be good to each other. Take it easy.